everyone, it's Sarah and I'm here with a Freckled Fawn Friday, and I'm going to be using everything Freckled Fawn from my Freckled Fawn monthly embellishment kits except for the pattern paper, which I am using this American Crafts paper pad. So I have a ton of these paper pads and I'm really trying to take advantage of using them with my Freckled Fawn kits because the Freckled Fawn embellishment kits are only embellishments. They do not come with any pattern paper at all. So it's a really good way for me to start really digging into these paper pads, definitely, because I have a lot of them. So I'm trying to make a good dent. So this one is from American Crafts, and it's kind of like a best of American Crafts type thing. So it has papers from different lines. It has a lot of Amy Tangerine and Dear Lizzie and things like that, and then also just like the regular American Crafts from their own lines, not anyone's name or anything. So I'm flipping through it to see what's jumping out at me, and I'm using my pens here to kind of mark the ones that I had initially thought of. So I'm going to pull, I believe, 4 different pattern papers out of this pad, 3 full papers, and then I'm going to cut out this little journal card here, which is like a red 4x6 card, and that's where I'm going to do my journaling. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out of this piece without ripping it out so that I can just keep it in there. And I believe that one is from a Dear Lizzie line. It looks like it might be from the Lucky Charm line. Okay, so I'm going to just clean up those edges there. And I have a couple little pieces of scrap paper from my stash, just a little piece of red cardstock that I had used in my silhouette. I'm just going to use it for a layering piece. And then I also have a little piece of gray polka dot paper that are just from my stash. So this is going to be my background paper. It is a dark wood grain, like a wood floor almost, and I'm putting it on top of a piece of white cardstock. It's just a white regular piece of cardstock, kind of a cheaper brand, I guess. But the thing with these pattern paper pads is that they're very thin paper, like very, very flimsy, would not hold weight very well. So that's why I'm just reinforcing it on a piece of cardstock. And it's nothing fancy, so I don't mind, just using it for a backing piece. But otherwise, that paper just would not hold up very well when I start putting things on top of it and gluing things down. So that's why I wanted to just kind of reinforce it. That's one of the downsides of these pattern paper pads is that, yes, they're very cheap. You can get them for really good prices, but the paper is also not the best quality. It has the cute patterns on it, but it's not a very heavyweight paper. So I am taking my Distress ink here, and this is in the color Gathered Twigs, and I'm just outlining, inking the edges of all my pattern papers so that they kind of go together. Looks like they go together better, if that makes any sense. It brings them all together, basically. So as you can tell, when I'm doing this paper here, you can see how thin it is. Just, holding it in my hands is making it wrinkle and things like that, so. Paper sure is cute though. All right, so I went ahead and did that. I'm gonna go ahead and start piecing them together, and I decided I wanted to use a craft mat on my picture here, so I just cut out a piece of craft cardstock and I'm inking that up, and then I'll put my picture on there. And I also pulled this one here. I'm gonna fussy cut some of those flowers here in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and get my papers layered together. I just like using these little scraps of paper and just kind of layering them up, and then they get used, and it's really nice. So I'm going to cut out some of these flowers here from this paper, and I'm going to end up cutting 3 of them. I'm going to fussy cut them out, and I won't make you watch that whole thing, but, but I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to ink the edges with my ink as well. So I like where it's going, so I'm going to go ahead and start getting everything stuck down here. And my picture there is a picture of my feet on Christmas Day this past year, and we traveled to Florida for Christmas. My family is from there. Actually, my family and my husband's family are both from Florida, different areas. But this year we decided to go to see my family because we haven't been there for a while. So we ended up going to my sister's house for Christmas morning, and I took a picture of my feet because I was wearing flip-flops. And back home in New Mexico, it was snowing, so it was very interesting to have such a different, when we left New Mexico to go to Florida, it was literally in the 30s, and then we got to Florida and it's in the 70s. So it was a pretty drastic weather change for us. So I just took a picture of my feet because I was like, here I am on Christmas Day wearing flip-flops, no big deal. So it's been a while since we could wear flip-flops on Christmas. But in Florida you can, so it was nice. These are my Freckled Fawn kits, and I keep them in an iris container, and I also have one of those tray organizers from Iris that you can buy at Michael's. They are in the same aisle as the Iris containers. However, I have heard that they are discontinuing them, or they're not going to be selling them anymore. So I'm going to be in Lubbock this weekend, and I'm going to be hitting up Michael's trying to buy some if I can find them, because I don't have a Michael's near me, and I love those trays. So if they really are not going to be stocking them anymore, then I want to buy as many as I can while I can, because I love them. So on the left there I have my tray, and then on the right where I'm rummaging through here are kind of just the bigger things, the big sheets of alphabets and stickers and things like that I don't really want to take out of the packaging. I keep those kind of in the bottom part of the tray, and then in the divided parts is where I take apart, I open packages and kind of dump things out so I can rummage through them easily. So that's how I keep my Freckled Fawn kits stored right now. So I pulled a few things here. I have some of these green, what are those called? Robuchon flowers? Is that what those are called? I don't even know. Something like that. Some sort of flower, like a big full flower. And they're a wood grain, and they are colored like a kind of a darker green. So I'm going to use those here and kind of layer them on top of the other flowers. I thought they went pretty well since this is a Christmas themed layout. Brings in the green for Christmas. So I went ahead and used up those. I also put a little white paper clip that says love on top of the picture there. And then I'm going to go ahead and work on my title. I'm using these outline alphabets, and these, I'm spelling out Christmas, and then I'm using the small round blue alphabets to spell out Flippy Floppies, because that's what I call flip-flops. They're my Flippy Floppies. If you guys like The Lonely Island, you'll understand that reference, but that's what I call them now. So yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and get my title stuck down here. So they're all stuck down. And I'm going to work on some more embellishing here. I had gone through my tray and I pulled out a few things that I thought I was going to use, so I'm just going to kind of see what fits where. That little arrow says yes, and it's green. And then I have a little word phrase there that says home away from home. And that is what I consider home away from our current home in New Mexico. We're a military family, so New Mexico is not technically home for us. It's kind of where it's home right now, where we're living, but Florida is definitely home. So I also had a strip of washi tape there, red washi tape that I put along the bottom and the top. And then I'm going to use a red label here and kind of house that little word phrase there underneath my picture. And I cut off the end a little bit so it can kind of hang over. And I'm going to put this phrase down, and since it's a chipboard, I'm going to go ahead and reinforce it with my adhesive. Just to be sure, chipboard doesn't always have staying power. Put that yes arrow right there. And I have this little felt layered flower here and some felt stars in red, so I'm going to use those. And all of these embellishments, absolutely everything except the pattern paper and the ink, are from Freckled Fawn, so absolutely everything. And I'm going to go ahead and get my journaling done on this card here. And then I have kind of a space up there above the journaling, and I want to fill it in with something. I'm just not 100% sure what yet. I'm thinking the year probably, so I'm just trying to see what I have that I can put the year or just the date in. And I find these labels, so I'm going to use one of those, and then I have these epoxy number stickers here, so I'm going to go ahead and use these. So I use a green label, and then I'm going to use these numbers and put 2015. Just going to move them over a little bit, make them fit a little bit more centered. And what else do I end up doing? I'm going to use some of these pearl dots. They're pretty much like enamel dots, but they're a little bit thicker. They kind of look like pearls. And I'm just using some red here. And I'm going to have to reinforce a couple corners here. This one right here is kind of standing up a little bit, especially once I put the dot down. And then I think I'm going to add some adhesive underneath the top of the picture as well, because the paper clip was kind of making it not stay down very well. It was kind of standing it up, so I didn't want that. So I'm just going to push that down a little bit. And then that's going to complete my layout. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know if you have any questions at all, and I'll be back again soon with some more layouts. And if you want to check out the Freckled Fawn embellishment kits, I will leave a link to their website in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon. Bye.